GENBAND's president and CEO, David Walsh.
Good morning, everyone. Speed. We just can't seem to get enough of it. The moment a record is broken, somebody's stepping up to try to do it again. And I think that sort of tells us what's happening in our industry also. So thank you for joining us. This is a great crowd. Last year was my first Perspectives, and I came away. I was so excited. I was like, we started planning the day after we all left here in Orlando. And what's wonderful is that we've brought together so many interesting people from all around the world. We have 700 people from 30 countries. We have some incredible amount of talent in this room from our industry. It's really hard to get this amount of people together for a few days, so it's a special moment for us here at GENBAND, and we want to thank each and every one of you. And this world that we're living is changing very quickly, as we all know. Anyone who's over 45, and I certainly am, this map, we got twice the amount of people living here today than we did 45 years ago. So we've got a world that's changing very quickly. And just to give you an example of that, every 2 minutes, we take more photos than all of humanity took in the 1800s. Just in two minutes' time. We're snapping away 880 billion photos a year now. So, and these are mostly being done on what we call smartphones. They're not even what people think of as traditional cameras. So that's the world we're living at, and things are moving really fast. And but I also, I don't know about you guys, but I really love Orlando. It's just a great venue to get away from, the madness that we all live in. And it's particularly, I love this place. I can't tell you how many times I've been here. I come through that airport, and I get excited because I think of me dragging all my kids, out to Disneyland. For those who haven't done that, hopefully you get a chance to maybe see some of the attractions. But I remember once, my daughter, when she was 7 years old, she was so excited to come to Orlando. She kept talking about Space Mountain, Space Mountain. I didn't even know how she even knew about Space Mountain, but as soon as we got in the theme park, she dragged me out there. And we're waiting in line, and, I'm like, Jesus, like the last thing I really want to do is ride a roller coaster, but, I'm going to suck it up. And we go, and as soon as she's done, I want to go again. So we're like, okay, let's pile back in line. Let's go do this, just do this again. So the next year, we come back, and she's 8. And she said, I want to go to Space Mountain again. No surprise. So we get out there, and as I'm waiting in line, there's like a sign. And I noticed that she's reading the sign, very kind of carefully and deliberately looking at this sign. And also she says, Dad, I don't want to go. I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to go? She says, I can't do this. I said, well, you had a great time last year. You did it twice. We just waited in line for an hour. And she goes, I'm not going. And I'm like, what changed? She goes, Dad, I can read now. So, you really got to stop reading things, because if you start reading anything on a label these days, you won't eat, you won't drink, you won't go anywhere, you won't have any fun, that's for sure. Okay, so here's what's really important to us at GENBAND. This is a sign from a coffee shop in my neighborhood in East Hampton. I go there in the summer, I walk into this place, and I see this sign. We don't have Wi-Fi, talk to each other, and really, that's what this is about this week. And there's two really messages to this side, and I think that's cool. One is, it's really hard to find a place that's not connected. It's like weird if you walk into a place and you can't get access. Something's wrong. And the second thing, at the same time, is there's a message here that says, wow, the world has shifted, and we really run the danger of not living in the present, meaning you're not there when you're there. And, we're all here, so let's make the best of this. Let's get to know each other. I certainly want to meet as many people. You've trekked all over the world, so I certainly would hope that I can get a chance to meet as many as you possible over the next few days. Now, this is interesting, the telephonoscope. This was in Punch's Almanac in 1879, but somebody envisioned video conferencing way back then. So this is a concept that it's been long in the making. I think the World's Fair in 1962-ish, somewhere around there, actually had the picture phone. So we had our first video. So here we are in 2014. It's taken 135 years to deliver on this vision. So I know we all think that things happen overnight and change. But sometimes these things take a long time, but then when they happen, they really happen. So this is what's happening. We're at like a tipping point. And what it really is that if you combine fast pipes, ubiquitous access, and 3 billion connected devices, which is growing every day, you get enormous change. And I'm going to show you something now, and we're going to do a little test here. So if the guys can throw up our little clock here. So here we have a clock.